Welcome to Yoga, You and Judy. I am Judy. Today we are going to wind down. It's the end of the day and we're going to use this practice to help calm our body and to calm our mind. There's nothing needed except for you on your mat. And with that said, let's get started. Start in a comfortable seated cross-legged position, keeping your spine straight, your chin tucked, and your hands resting gently on your knees. We're going to start with a breathing practice that is said to reduce stress and anxiety. It's meant to help us achieve a sense of calm and balance before we start our practice today. It's a practice called Nadi Shodhana or alternate nostril breathing. So to prepare, take your right hand and place the index and middle fingers of your right hand gently in between your eyebrows. We're going to use our thumb to close off the right nostril and our ring finger to close off the left nostril. So let's close off the right nostril with the thumb and take one inhale through the left nostril and exhale fully through the left nostril. Now breathe in through your left nostril and then closing the left nostril with the ring finger, breathing out through your right nostril. Keep the left nostril closed and breathe in through your right nostril. And then closing right and breathing out through the left nostril. Breathe in left. Close left, breathe out right. Breathe in right. Close right and breathe out through your left nostril. Breathe in left. Close left, breathe out right. Breathe in right. Close right, breathe out left. Breathe in left. Close left and breathe out right. Breathe in through your right nostril. Close right and breathe out through your left nostril. And then gently release your hands back onto your knees. And just take one full breath here. From here we're coming into child's pose. Let's make this an active child's pose. So opening our knees and then stretching forward, coming onto the tips of our fingers, feeling a nice stretch in our lower back, and your sitting bones are firmly pressing onto your heels. And just feel that nice stretch in your lower back. Start to let go of the day and prepare to wind down. In this practice, we are going to use our breath to breathe into the areas that we are stretching, and we're going to use gravity to sink deeper into the poses. It's not just about stretching muscles in our body, but all the tissues in our body. So during this practice, we will be combining some elements of Yin Yoga with the flow elements that we know from Vinyasa yoga. So just keep feeling that nice expansion in your lower back as you breathe in and out. And then on your next exhale, move your fingers over to the right, stretching out the left side of your body. You can take the left hand on top of the right hand to increase that stretch. And again, keep pressing your sitting bones onto your heels and feel that nice release on the left side of your body as you breathe in and out. And taking one more full breath here. And then walking the hands back to center, and with your next exhale, walking them over to the left. And again, you can place your right hand this time on top of your left, your sitting bones sinking down onto your heels, and feeling that nice stretch all the way on the right side of your body. And just take 2 nice full breaths here. And then coming back to center, coming into an upright position on your knees and coming forward into tabletop. You might want to turn towards the front of your mat now. And whilst in tabletop, make sure that your shoulders are nicely aligned over your wrists, and tuck your toes for this one to give our toes a bit of a stretch, and keep holding this toe tuck while we're doing our cat and cow. So on an inhale, arch your back, raise your head up, coming into a cow pose. And on an exhale, push the floor away, round your back, coming into cat. Inhale, arch your back, head up. Exhale, push the floor away, coming into cat pose. Once more, inhale into cow. Exhale, push the floor away with everything you've got, rounding your back. And then let's do 3 more of them, but this time as we come into cow pose, just lean forward a bit, put more weight onto your hands. And then as you exhale, round your back and almost sit back on your heels as you do the rounding. And then again, coming forward into cow, arching your back. And then exhale, round your back, almost sit back on your heels. One last time, inhale, head up, chest up. Exhale, rounding your back, sitting back on your heels. And then from here, push into your hands, start straightening your legs, coming into our first downward dog. We haven't really stretched the backs of our legs yet, so let's take this slowly. So start walking your feet. Just do any movements that will help you feel comfortable in your first downward dog, and that will help stretch out our legs. You can walk, you can come on your toes, pulling your belly towards your thighs, keeping your knees bent while you do that, just to warm up the body. Do that a few times. You might want to twist from side to side, stretching out the sides of the body, sides of the legs. And then push your tailbone up, press into your hands, and just try and find a moment of stillness in your downward facing dog. Your belly button is pulling towards your thighs. That's the direction you want to take, and your shoulders are rotated outwards. And then taking one inhale, slightly bend your knees, and then exhale, stepping forward, coming into a forward dangle, and just stay there. Have your knees slightly bent. Grasp the opposite elbows with opposite hands and just dangle a bit, moving side to side. And then very slowly start rolling your body up, vertebrae by vertebrae, coming into a standing pose. The outsides of your feet are parallel, so that means the inside of your thighs roll inwards a little bit, giving you a stable standing, and your shoulders circle back, shoulders pulling away from your ears, and just find a nice strong standing pose here. We're going to warm up our body a bit more with some sun salutations. So on our inhale, raising the arms up. Exhale, fold forward with a straight back. Inhale the left leg back, open the heart, look up. Exhale the right leg back, coming into plank. On an inhale, shifting forward, knees down, arch your back. Exhale as you bend your elbows close to your body, chin and chest come to the floor. Inhale as you slide forward into cobra. And exhale back into your downward facing dog, taking 3 breaths here. And then we are going to inhale the right leg forward, open our heart, looking up. Exhale, bring the left leg forward. Inhale, folding up with a straight back. And exhale your arms down to standing. Inhaling your arms up. Exhale, fold forward with a straight back. Inhale the right leg back this time, open your heart, head up. Exhale, step your left leg back into plank. On an inhale, shifting forward, arching the back, lowering the knees. Exhale, bending elbows close to the body, bringing chin and chest to the floor. Inhale up into cobra. And exhale back into downward facing dog, taking 3 breaths. On our next inhale, we step the left leg forward, open our heart, looking up. Exhale the right leg forward. Inhale, coming all the way up with a straight back. And exhale your arms down into a standing position. So that was 1 round of sun salutation. We're going to do a second round, a bit faster this time. So inhale your arms up. Exhale as you fold down with a straight back. Inhale the left leg back, open your heart, head up. Exhale your right leg back. Inhale, shift forward, arch your back, knees on the mat. Exhale, bending elbows close to your body, chin, chest on the floor. Inhale, sliding forward into cobra. Exhale back into downward facing dog. 1 breath here. And then inhaling the right leg forward, open the heart, look up. Exhale, left leg forward. Inhale, folding up from the hip. Exhale, arms back down to standing. Inhale up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, right leg back, open the heart. Exhale, left leg back. Inhale, shift forward, arch back, knees on the mat. Exhale, bend elbows close to your body, bringing chin and chest to the floor. Inhale, sliding forward into cobra. Exhale, back into downward facing dog, taking 1 full breath here. And then inhaling the left leg forward, open your heart, look up. Exhale the right leg forward. Inhale, hinging up from the hips to standing, and exhale the arms down to standing. Now breathing the arms up, exhale, hinge forward, inhale, halfway up, and exhale, stepping both legs back to plank, lowering the knees and the chest towards the floor on an exhale, inhaling up into cobra and back into downward facing dog. Here we're going to lift our right leg on an inhale and bend the knee with your knee pointing to the sky, opening up the hip. And then in this position, we're going to take some slow hip circles. Let's take 3 circles clockwise and 3 circles anti-clockwise. And then squaring off the hips, bringing the right leg back up and stepping the right foot in between the hands, coming into a low lunge. Keep your pelvis slightly tucked and use your breath to sink deeper on an exhale. Inhale, rise taller. Exhale, sink deeper. Once more, inhale, grow taller. Exhale, sink deeper. And then we're placing the left hand on the floor. Open up to the right with the right arm pointing up. And on an inhale, imagine your upper hand is drawn towards the ceiling, and then you twist deeper as you exhale. And then from here, let's bend the left knee, and the right hand slowly takes hold of the left foot, coming into a revolved low lunge. And just feel that nice stretch on your right chest. And then slowly let go, very, very slowly bring your back leg down. Both hands frame the front foot, and then shifting your hips back into half splits. You want to pull your right hip backwards, your left hip forwards to make sure that you've got a nice alignment here. And then fold forward from your hip. Use your breath, your in-breath to pull the crown of your head forward, and your out-breath to sink deeper over your front leg. And then bend back into your front knee. Step your back foot forward into a forward fold. And once again, just dangle here, opposite hands grabbing opposite elbows, and just enjoy this nice release in your lower back. And then once again, very slowly, let's roll up to standing. Taking one full inhale and one full exhale here. And then breathing our arms up. Exhale, hinging forward from the hip. Inhale, halfway up. And on an exhale, stepping both legs back into plank. Inhale, shifting forward, lowering onto the knees, chest towards floor on an exhale. Inhale, sliding forward into cobra and pushing back into downward facing dog. On your next inhale, let's lift the left leg and bend the left knee with the knee pointing to the sky, opening up our left hip. And on this side as well, let's do some very slow and controlled hip circles. Doing a few circles clockwise. A few circles anti-clockwise. And then reaching the left leg back up, squaring off the hips, And stepping the left leg forward in between our hands, coming into a low lunge. On an inhale, bring your arms up, tuck your pelvis slightly. You don't want to sink forward, but keep a stable lower body. And on each inhale, rise taller. Let your hands pull you up further, and on each exhale, sink deeper. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale, sink deeper. And then we're placing the right hand on the floor, twisting over to the left arm pointing up into the sky. And on each inhale, our left fingertips are trying to pull further towards the ceiling. And on each exhale, we twist a little bit deeper. And then let's bring the left hand back down and bend the right knee, taking the left hand to take hold of our right foot very slowly, very gently, coming into our revolved low lunge on the left side. And feel that nice opening on the left side of your chest. And just hold this for a moment. And then very slowly, very gently, let go of your ankle. Slowly bring your leg back down. Both hands frame the front foot. And we're shifting our hips back, coming into half splits. And again here, we want to pull the left hip back, the right hip forward to make sure that we've got a nice alignment. And on each inhale, our head is pulling forward as we bend over our front leg with a straight spine. And on each exhale, we sink a bit deeper. And then bending into the front knee, stepping the back foot forward, coming into a forward fold, coming into our dangle. And then very slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, start rolling up your body back into standing. And once again, let's take one full breath here. And then breathing our arms up on an inhale. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Inhale, halfway up. On an exhale, stepping back to plank, lowering the knees, bending the elbows, bringing the chest towards the floor on an exhale. Inhale into cobra and exhale into downward facing dog. Lifting our right leg up again, bending the knee with the knee pointing to the sky, opening up the hip. And then very slowly and very controlled, stepping the right foot outside the right hand, coming into a lizard pose. The back knee stays on the mat. And once again, let's use our breath to sink deeper into this pose. One more breath. And then placing the left hand on the floor, right hand pushing the right knee further out, opening up the hip. You might even want to come onto the side of your right foot and open up the hip with your breath, holding it and taking one full breath here. And then both hands come inside the right foot, lifting the back knee off the floor, straightening the front leg with the right foot flexed. And let's sink down with a straight spine over that front leg. On each inhale, the crown of the head is pulling further forward. On each exhale, we sink deeper over that front leg. Take another full breath here. And then place both hands back on the floor, bent slightly into that leg, and pull it back up into a three-legged dog, and placing it down into downward facing dog, taking 3 breaths here. And let's do the same on the other side. On the next inhale, let's lift the left leg up, bending the knee with the knee pointing to the sky, opening up our hip. And then very controlled, let's step that left foot outside of the left hand, coming into our lizard pose on this side. And use your breath to sink deeper into the pose. Back knee is on the mat, and just feel that nice opening of your left hip. And then let's place the right hand on the floor and use our left hand to push the knee further out towards the left, opening the hip. And with each breath, sink deeper, maybe coming to the outside edges of our left foot. And taking 1 full breath here. And then we place both hands inside the left foot, lifting the back knee off the floor and straightening the front leg with the left foot flexed, coming into a pyramid pose. And then we fold over our front leg with a straight back. And on each inhale, the crown of the head is pulling forward. On each exhale, we sink deeper over our front leg. And let's take 1 full breath here. And then let's inhale that left leg back up into 3-legged dog. Place it back down into downward facing dog, taking 3 full breaths here. On an inhale, we lift the right leg up, and then we step it in between our hands, coming into a high lunge, back knee off the floor. We stay on our toes, and our back leg is engaged. Our legs our thighs feel like they want to pull together, and our pelvis is slightly tilted to give us a nice, strong, stable high lunge. On each inhale, we grow a bit taller with our arms up. On each exhale, we sink a little bit deeper, all the while keeping that nice extension of the back leg and that nice tension all the way throughout our body. From here, we place the left hand on the floor, twisting open to the right arm pointing up. Inhale, pull your right fingertips further towards the ceiling. Exhale as you twist deeper. And then framing the front foot with both hands, straightening the front leg, flexing the right foot. And then inhale, keeping a straight back, pulling the crown of the head forward. Exhale, sinking deeper over the front leg. Taking 1 full breath here. And then we bend into the front leg, lifting the back leg up, coming into a standing splits. Our hands are placed in front of our right foot. Taking 1 full breath here. And you might want to place your right hand on your right calf, pulling yourself further towards your leg, bringing your left leg further up. And then micro bending the front knee, stepping the left leg down turning to face the side of the mat, feet parallel and arms up. The right hand takes a hold of the left wrist, and let's go for a nice stretch over to the right hand side. Inhale back to center. Left hand takes hold of the right wrist, stretching over to the left on an exhale. Back to center. And then interlacing our fingers behind the back. Breathing in, opening the chest up to the sky, raising our head up. And on an exhale, folding forward with a straight back, bringing our arms overhead. Taking one full breath here, feeling that nice shoulder stretch. And then let's release our hands, place them outside the left foot and turning to the left as we bend into the left knee, and we step the left foot back to downward facing dog, this time facing the other end of the mat. Taking 3 breaths here. And then let's lift our left leg up and step it in between our hands, coming into high lunge. Again, remember your alignment, your thighs pulling together, you're on your toes, on your back toes. Your back leg is stretched and your pelvis is slightly tucked. And your arms are coming up on each inhale. You grow taller on each inhale. And on each exhale, you sink a little bit deeper, keeping that back leg straight, keeping your legs pulling together for stability. Inhaling here and sinking deeper on an exhale. And then placing the right hand on the floor, twisting open to the left arm up to the sky. Inhale, breathe your left fingertips further up to the ceiling. Exhale, twist a bit deeper. And then framing the front foot with both your hands, straighten the front leg. Keeping your left foot flexed. And as you inhale, you pull the crown of your head forward, keeping a straight spine. And as you exhale, you sink deeper over the front leg. Taking one full breath here. Inhale, stretching forward. Exhale, folding deeper. And then bending into the front leg, bringing the left leg up into standing splits. And you might want to take your left hand on your left calf, pulling yourself further in, allowing your right leg to go a bit further up. And just take one full breath here. And then micro bending into the front knee, stepping the right leg down, turning once again to face the side of the mat. Feet parallel, hip width distance apart, toes pointing out slightly. And then let's inhale the arms up and bring them in front of heart center as we exhale, slowly sinking down into a yogi squat. And let's just hold that for a few breaths for a nice hip opener. And then come all the way down to seated, bringing the soles of your feet together, coming into a butterfly pose. It doesn't have to be a very tight one, so your feet can be a bit further away from your body to make that more relaxing, because we're going to change our pace now. We're going to slow down and we're going to hold our poses for a bit longer, trying to deepen them with the help of gravity. So just hold on to your feet as they are together in your butterfly pose. Take an inhale, grow taller, and as you exhale, fold over your feet with a straight back initially. And then just let it go. Let your spine round. And let's just hold this butterfly pose for a few breaths. And then slowly inhaling your body back up. And we're going to try a little play with our balance. So take hold of your big toe with your thumb and index fingers. And then very gently lift your feet off the ground, trying to find your balance, keeping your knees bent. And then you can play a bit with your balance. You can play a bit by extending one leg, bringing it back, then another leg, bringing it back, just play around a bit, even if it's a bit silly, but challenge your balance and try to catch it before you roll over. If you roll over, don't worry, just come back into the same pose. And if you feel you've got a good balance, you might want to extend both legs in a seated straddle balance and then let that go. Come back down, sitting down onto the floor, sitting in a straddle position. And then let's breathe both of our arms up, placing the right lower arm inside the right leg. And then we twist our heart open to the sky. And the left arm is stretching overhead by the side of our left ear. And again, let's just hold this pose for a few breaths. And then inhaling ourselves back up very slowly. And then let's bring the left lower arm inside the left leg, twisting our heart open to the other side with the right arm stretching overhead alongside the right ear. And again, a few breaths here. And then coming back out, breathing both of our arms back up and then fold forward as you exhale. Keep your hips externally rotated, toes pointing up into the air. And initially you can lower yourself with a straight back, but then allow your back to round, allow your head to sink towards the floor. It doesn't matter whether it reaches it or not. Just give in to gravity and hold this nice straddle forward fold. Again for a few breaths. Remember, gravity is your friend. Just allow it to pull you deeper. And then if you feel it's a bit too deep, come out of the pose a bit. And then very slowly coming back up bringing your feet on the floor, knees bent, hip width distance apart, and just windshield wiper your legs a few times to each side. And then next time you come over to the right, hold it there and try to bring your thighs and your lower legs into a 90-degree angle. Coming into a deer pose, giving you both an external hip rotation on one side and an internal hip rotation on the other side. And just stay in this pose a bit. Keep your upper body upright. And take a few breaths here. And then we're placing our right hand just behind us, and we're sweeping the left arm up towards the sky, bringing our hips up, pushing up towards the sky for a nice heart opener, and then sinking back down. Windshield wiper your knees over to the other side, coming into a deer pose on the left. And once again, first find your alignment, create that nice 90-degree angle in between your thigh and your lower legs. And try to pull the right sitting bones towards the floor, taking a few breaths in this deer pose. And then we're placing the left hand down just behind our left sitting bones, and we swipe the right arm across over to the sky for a nice heart opener on the other side, pushing our hips upwards, and then coming back down, crossing our legs, rolling over our feet, and coming into a tabletop position. Our next pose is a frog pose, so that is a nice stretch on the inside of our thighs. So from tabletop, where you've got your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees below your hips, you just slowly move your right and left knee out towards the sides as you exhale, and your feet are turned outwards to the side, your ankles are flexed, so that your inner feet, your inner ankles and your inner knees are touching the floor. And just keep sliding your legs out, your knees out as far as is comfortable, and then slowly lower down to your forearms with your palms either flat on the floor or pressed together. Or if any of this feels too intense, stay on your palms. And then just let yourself slide down into this frog pose, creating a nice opening on the inside of your thighs. And again, remember, gravity is our friend. So with each exhale, allow yourself to sink a little bit deeper. And if it feels too strong, just come out of the pose a bit by sliding your knees a little bit together. And let's take a few deep breaths here in this frog pose. And then very slowly and very gently, let's come out of this by slowly sliding our knees closer together. It's not going to look very elegant, but that doesn't matter. And let's make our way onto the back. Bending your knees, soles of the feet on the ground, and you want your heels so that you can just about touch them with your hands. We're going to come into a very gentle back bend, into a bridge pose. So to set us up for that, make sure that the outer edges of your feet are parallel. Your hands by the side of your body, palms on the floor. And then with an inhale, start lifting your hips up towards the sky. Keeping your knees together, so you want to make sure that your knees don't flop open to the side, but imagine you're holding something in between your knees. And just breathe into this gentle back bend. If you want, you can bring your shoulders closer together and interlace your fingers underneath your back, helping you to push your hips up even higher. And then one last full breath here. Maybe push a bit further into those hips, push them up further. And then very slowly, very gently roll your back down onto the mat. And just take one breath here. And we're just going to do our second last pose, which is a very gentle inversion, coming into a snail pose, where we very slowly roll back, bringing our feet up in the air. First, bring them up 90 degrees with the soles of your feet pointing to the sky. And then very slowly let your feet sink behind your head. You can support your lower back with your hands to make this as gentle as possible. And then just rest your feet behind your head on the floor. You can keep your knees bent if that feels more comfortable. You can keep your hands on your lower back or stretch them out alongside the floor. And just enjoy this nice inversion. Make sure you don't twist your head whilst you are in this inversion. And just breathe deeply into your spine and feel that nice breath stretch of all the muscles along your spine, along your lower back. And take a few deep breaths. And then very slowly, very gently, supporting your lower back with your hands, come out of this inversion, bringing the soles of your feet back on the ground. Your knees are bent. And just take one breath here. And then shifting your hips slightly over to the left. Bring the knees into your chest, arms out in a T shape, and let your knees drop over to the right hand side. Coming into a side twist. Try and keep your shoulders on the mat and turn your gaze gently towards the left. Enjoying this final side twist before we come into our relaxation. Breathe into your back, and on each exhale, welcome gravity and how it's pulling your knees further down to the floor. And on your next inhale, bring your knees back to center. Release the soles of your feet to the floor. Shift your hips a bit further over towards the right. And then once again, drawing your knees into your chest, arms out in a T shape, and dropping your knees over to the left-hand side. Taking deep breaths into your lower back, your middle back, your upper back, and then allowing gravity to let you sink a bit deeper into the pose. And on your next inhale, bring your knees back to center, and let's come into our final relaxation, lying all the way down with your arms by the side of your body but not touching, palms facing up. Your legs slightly spread, allow your feet to gently fall outwards. And then for the last time today, welcome gravity. Feel how gravity pulls your body into the mat. And relax your body into the earth. Feel all the parts of your body relax into the ground below you. Feel your neck, your shoulders, your spine, your belly, your hips, your legs, your feet, feel them all sink into the ground below you. Feel the calmness in your body, and feel the calmness in your mind. And then very slowly and very gently start bringing movement back into your body. Start moving your fingers and your toes, turning your head from side to side. And then keeping your eyes closed, make your way into a cross-legged seated position in any way that feels comfortable for you. Feel the calmness in your body and in your mind. And then we're going to take one more inhale together, bringing our arms up overhead. And exhale the hands in front of heart center. I hope you enjoyed this practice to wind down both your body and your mind. If you did, please subscribe to Yoga, Yi and Judy, and I hope to see you again very soon. Have a beautiful evening.